Hey guys, and welcome back to Heart of the Matter podcast. I am your host, Sherry J, and this is a podcast where we talk about issues that matter most to your heart. So, thank you so much for joining back in on another episode. We are actually on episode number 4 of season number 2. So, I'm really excited about this season. If you were with us last season, we talked a lot about relationship things and matters because we of course want to see our especially our black community get back together as far as loving on one another, you know knowing that we need one another. So a lot of our season 1, we had a lot of talks about back and forth, men versus women and things like that, but in a good way because we were actually talking and dialoguing to create conversation so we could fix that and not create more of the same issue. And so this season is a little bit different. We have a mix of different topics, but most of them are about socioeconomic topics, right? Social epidemics and things that are going on, and that we rarely talk about. That's not really hitting the headlines of the news, and if it is, it's very limited. Things like that. So that's what we're talking about. So I know a lot of people follow because they like that back and forth. They like men versus women. They like they like the confusion of it. Not confusion, but a lot of times I would make topics that would just throw you off. You would think I'm going in on men, and I'm really not. It was just to reel you in. But it's sometimes it's sad that we have to make topics that way so people can get reeled in, so they can get excited and say, you know what, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch because it was juicy. And I understand that is just a society that we live in. Unfortunately, it's so sad, but that's the time we live in. And I mean, God said it would happen, and so here we are. But hello to everybody who's here. Hi, Mina. Oh, hi, Merely. Hi, Tonya. Hi, sis. Thank you all for being here. My faithful few, right? No, and then also like I had a co-host last season as well. I don't have a co-host right now. She had a lot of things going on, and so a lot of people just kind of dropped off, and I just we're kind of starting this season back fresh. But I'm excited. I'm still excited. Like honestly, I'm really excited about it because I just think that you need fresh content, fresh dialogue, and so I'm really excited about that. Hi Tyria, hi daughter, hi. Thank y'all for joining in. So if please share the live if you feel led to share the live. This is going to be a very, very good live. Oh my goodness, I left my book upstairs, so I'm going to have to go by memory. This is going to be a very good live. The topic, if you heard the topic, it is she's not safe. Surge of femicide we can't ignore. So I know, when I heard this word, I was a little taken aback. I knew it was something to do with women, right? But I really didn't know exactly what it was until I looked it up. But I mean, do you anybody on here know what femicide is? Have you heard of it before? Just let me know in the comments if you have. Oh, let me check on Instagram while you guys are letting me know. Let's see here. Oh wow. I didn't go live on Instagram all this time. Okay. I'm live now. Sorry, Instagram. Oh man. It's sometimes controlling all these sets. Um I left my notebook upstairs. Let me see if DJ can bring it to me, y'all, because I had like my notes written down and I want to stay in order. But how are you guys before we jump in? How y'all doing? Mina, how you doing? I can't wait to talk to you because you just text me and I got excited when you text me. I'm like, what? So I can't wait to talk to you in person. But this is gonna be a good, great topic, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Okay, so you said well rested. Yeah, you just got up from a nap. I'm waiting on my son to bring it. Y'all, hopefully he bring it. He all the way upstairs. Let's see. Okay. So what do y'all think femicide is? When you hear the word femicide, what do you think of? What does it come to your mind? Like, okay, what do you think about? Oh yeah, I know you got some answers. Merely you gonna stop this being quiet, Stop. Um, let's see. Mina said, all is well, busy, but I'm managing. How is everything on your end? Okay. I know you always busy in managing. That's the same way with me. I'm busy, but I'm managing, with the help of the good Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Right? I got to give God credit because, man, life be lifing, right? And it's no way to get through it but with God. I promise you, like, you don't want to live this life by yourself. You can't live it by yourself, really, but without having a solid rock, baby, the way life be. Whew, child. Okay. So I got my notes here, y'all. Okay. So I asked y'all what was femicide, but I, maybe nobody knows, right? So this is what femicide is. According to the World Health Organization, it is killing, intentional murder or killing of women because they are women. And a broader term includes violent deaths based on gender, which most often occur within the family by a domestic partner, a spouse, or intimate partner. Right. So it's killing or murdering a woman because she's a woman for one. Yeah, that's one part of it, but also the killing of women who are killed by their spouses, who are killed by their family members, and they're also even killed by like partners who they're just intimate with, but they don't have an actual title. And so we're starting to see a really big increase in this. Wouldn't you guys agree? I mean, I know even here in Detroit, we're seeing so many stories. The Ashley Elkin story of how she's missing, right? And of course, they suspect a boyfriend. He was the last one with her. Um, Also, the story of the Naziah Harris's has been brought back into light, and we're finding out even more things about that. Um, just there's so many other stories and things that happen. I don't know if you guys heard about the executive over in London. She was like 43. She was an executive for Citibank and she got killed, or beat to death because her autopsy said it was blunt trauma to the head. And so they suspect it was like a partner, somebody who was close to her, somebody she knew, of course, that did this. So it's so many stories that's floating around. There's another woman I saw, ex-boyfriend killed her. So this is happening too frequently at this point. And so I started seeing this everywhere, right? I was looking like, oh, this is happening now. It's just getting too frequent. And so that's why I'm like, it's something we need to expound on, something we need to talk about in dialogue, and just see what can we do to decrease it. Now I know sometimes even the men are being killed. I'm seeing women taking out their husbands. I'm seeing the same, on the same spectrum. I'm seeing them do it too, but it's actually more women, right? It's actually more women that's being killed and taken out by their spouses than anything. And prior to this, we know women and children, people would be like, oh, they're off limits. You wouldn't harm a woman or a child, but nowadays that's happening. So I have here that femicide is on the rise. We can't deny this because we do also have statistics about the femicide. I'm gonna go ahead and bring those up, but I want your perspective. If anybody wants to say anything, why do you think it's going up? Why do you think we're having an increase in women dying at the hands of their spouse, their trusted partner, their family member? Does anybody know why the women are being killed in this manner, or what do you think? Right? We probably won't have the perfect answer unless we look to the book, but what do you think? Why do you think this is happening? Hey, Jabbar. Good to see you. Yeah, so why do you guys think? I want some dialogue, y'all. Y'all just want to hear me talk. I know. Okay. Okay. I'll tell y'all my answer in 1 second. But while you guys are thinking about that, let me go ahead and I'll bring up some information about this that you may not know. Okay, so Tonya said they don't have parents sometimes to lead them. Okay, so they don't have parents, and so now their spouses are killing the women because their parents failed them. Is pretty much what you're saying. I think that's what you're saying, right? That would make sense to me because I mean, if yeah. Okay, let me go. I'm gonna bring up this article real quick, and I want you guys to see this article that was done about women. And then I'm gonna get to more of your comments. Okay. All right, so this is done by United Nations. You got if you guys can see it, you should be able to see it. Uh-oh. Okay. So it says one woman killed every 10 minutes. The harrowing global reality of femicide. Let's see. I'm trying to see when this. I know this is recent because okay, yep, this is November 25th of 2024. So these statistics are really recent. That's big. One woman killed every 10 minutes. That's sad, y'all. And this came out on the 25th anniversary of the International Day of the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Uh, the epidemic of violence against women and girls shames humanity. The world must heed this call. We need urgent action for justice and accountability and support for advocacy. This is a lot, y'all. So look, this says universal issue with regional disparities. So meaning this is happening all over the globe. This isn't just an American issue. Isn't just the UK issue, but it's happening everywhere. And according to this report, Africa recorded the highest rates of intimate partner and family related femicides, with 21,700 women killed in 2023. Wow. And then it's followed by the Americas. So that's us in Oceania. So we see who has the highest rates. And I can kind of understand that. And it kind of leads me to my next point that I was actually going to bring up. I'm just looking at here. But it brings me to my next point when I asked you guys, we think there's a surge of femicide, right? And I was thinking of the misogynistic direction the society has taken. So when we think of misogynistic, is like Africa. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Africa is the highest in femicide because a lot of the men in Africa, it is more of a paternal, country ran more by the men lead, which I'm not saying that's nothing wrong with that. That is the right way. But sometimes the men, they become misogynistic where they don't even acknowledge women. They disregard women. They think women are beneath them. And so they look at women like, oh, they're dirt, they're nothing. And because of that, I think that has caused a lot of these, I think, deaths, I believe. I mean, that's one point. The misogynistic direction of the society. I said first it was feminism. We knew that came. I think the feminism did a good job of breaking down the family, right? So the family's broken down, and now you don't have the strong male leader in the home, right? And so now I think some of the men are snapping, maybe, and I can't say that our women are all we're perfect. We're not. A lot of the women don't know how to control, what they say. And I understand, this culture, right? And so some of these men are snapping because, they are, they're struggling sometimes. And they see the women sometime, I think, climbing the ladder higher than they are. And so I believe that's another reason. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I just also put down here that I see a lot of reels and posts that gives like a prejudice or misogynistic feeling towards women. So many now. So I think that's what we're in right now, where we hate women. We don't like women. Oh, you don't need a woman. You need a woman for one thing. You don't really need, and it's really sad that this is the era that we're in, but I think it's contributing to the deaths of women because what you don't value, right? It's easy for you to throw away, to kill, to murder. You don't value it. It's not significant to you any longer. Um, Janae said, I think low self-esteem plays a factor in being emotionally unstable. Yes. Yes, I think that's what I was getting to when when the feminism came through. Of course, it has allowed a lot of men to have low self-esteem, I think, because to see a woman running everything and leading, right, it has to make the men be like, feel like less than a man, I would think. I don't know, fellas, what do you guys think? But I mean, I would think that it would take some of their manhood away because again, a lot of the women are progressing faster. Like I said, this executive that got killed, she was 43, I believe, an executive or a CEO or something of Citibank. Like, so I could see how that could, make some men say, maybe her ex got jealous of it, and he was, like Mina said, emotionally unstable. And so because he wasn't intelligent, emotionally, he took her life. And I think that's happening a lot of times. Janae also said possibly mental illness too. Yeah, definitely. We know that's going around too. Jabbar said no self-control. They react to a made-up story in their head. Wow. Yeah. That's different. Wow. So you thinking they just they got thoughts and things going in their head that how they think about a situation or perceive it, and they act. Wow. So they act probably irrational on a situation, and before you know it, they didn't took somebody's life. Mm, that's how fast it can happen. Merely said most women get killed because they deal with emotionally unstable men. Okay, I think everybody's kind of saying that the men are emotionally unstable. Okay, so I'm wondering. Okay, so we're looking at the Ashley Elkins topic. Yeah, I would say that guy was emotionally unstable. I would say that. Yeah, I mean, if y'all remember him, how he looked, I don't know him per se, but he did seem like he was, because they said he was stalking her and doing some things like that. Also, the Naziah Harris, he was, of course, 40 years old messing with a 13-year-old, so we know he was emotionally unstable. And I think from what I heard is, his mom had a, baby with him, or it's some weird, crazy stuff, y'all, in that story. And I can't even read the messages because it's horrible. So I definitely can conceive the notion that most of the men who are committing this is emotionally unstable. But now listen, there was a 75-year-old woman that was killed by her husband. The husband was in his 90s. So, I mean, I can't say that it's all emotionally charged, because I'm like, he killed her. He shot her. And they were together, probably for years, I'm sure, the majority of their lives. And so I'm just seeing, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm gonna go to these statistics. I do want you guys to see them real quick, and so we can just go over this really quick. Okay. So I just pulled this up so we can just get more information, more in-depth information about femicide. Not gonna go over it or anything, but you guys can see this is done by United Nations. And I went, let's see, because I think it's gonna give you statistics by the state. Okay, here. This one says the total number of women killed in 2023 by an intimate partner or other family members was 51,100 worldwide. That's big, y'all. Is that big to y'all? It's a lot of women. On an average, 140 women and girls were killed every day in 2023 by someone in their own family. This ain't counting the women that is just randomly killed. Just these are people in their own family. Brother, mom, sister, sister jealous. That's terrible. Partner, spouse. And then here we have another chart, just showing total intimate partners or family member femicides. We have 21,700 in Africa. Again, that's the top one, as we said. Asia, 18,500 in Americas. So per this chart, America is actually third. The other chart said we were actually second. So we are between the second and third highest rate of, femicides against women. So yeah, I just wanted to show that so you guys can see the statistics behind it. It's really happening out here. We may not think it is, but it is really happening. Okay, so that's all I got. Sign off. But no, honestly, I want to know, what else do you guys think about this? Like, how do you feel about it? Ladies, how do you feel? I have one more video that I'm gonna play that's about maybe it's a few, like maybe 10 minutes. But then that's gonna be all for the live today. But I want to know, like, how do you feel about the situation, right? Especially the women that are on here, the men that have daughters, right? Because the men who have daughters also actually go through the same thing. They're going to be going through the same thing, or they could experience it. I'm not going to say you're going to go through it. You could experience it. Oh, I'm sorry. Instagram, I forgot you were over here. Val, she said people look at other people as property or possession. Dang, I missed her comment. That was really good. That's really good. People look at other people as property or possession. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I gotta clap that up. Because I think that's one of the top answers that I didn't even think of. That's like when you come, when abusive relationships, that's normally what it is, right? They think of you like, okay, you my property, I own you. We don't own anybody. Even if you're married to them, you still don't own that person. And I think that was very good. Thank you, Val, for saying that. A lot of people think that they own somebody, and that's just not the case. Nobody is your property. Hey, sis. Oh, hey, sis, I just got to your comment. I guess she says, you ain't checking Instagram. Let me go where the conversation is. I'm sorry, Val. She said, people look at, yep. I just actually saw your comment and I said that was a really good comment because I was, I didn't think of that one, but that's so true. People looking at other people as their possession when it shouldn't be. Nobody's your property. You don't own anybody, right? I don't care if that's your wife. I don't care if that's your husband. You still don't own that person. And when people get it into their mind, because like I said, misogynistic reasons, they think, oh, I run you. I married you. Now I own you. You need to do what I say. And this, no. I mean, of course, you should lead properly and the woman should submit. I understand that part. But you shouldn't look at and view a person as you own them. But a lot of men do that. A lot of men do that. And it's not good. Tyria said it's really terrible, honestly, out here. Yes, it is. And you're young, Tyria. You just getting into the word and you seeing it. So that's yeah. Tyria said, yes, I've seen that where the person thinks they own and can tell the woman whatever they want and speak to them however. Yeah, it's bad. And you should have more respect, than to talk to a woman in that matter. But like I said, we're going through a season where everybody just, doesn't think women are owed respect. And I'm not saying women didn't do anything to get there. I believe some women, did things. I'm not taking just like saying no women, you don't have no blame at all and not for being murdered. I didn't say that, but I'm saying that yes, the women I think maybe the way our actions, the way things we have said could warrant us being talked to a certain way. It could warrant some, us being disrespected at times. I'm not saying it's right either way, but I'm saying there's two parts. However, that doesn't give you a reason to take somebody's life, doesn't give you a reason to own somebody. I just think the parents, and when you're teaching children, you need to raise these children for one, they not being raised. That's another issue, like Tonya said. But you have to train them up for their future spouse because that's what you're made. You're made to grow up. You go and you get a husband or a wife and you start a family. And this is how the generations and society continues on because now you are, they're creating their family and that's generations. But we're not teaching our children that. We're not. We're just sitting around, letting them grow up, teaching them nothing. And so now a lot of these boys are raised by single moms. Not to knock the single moms. I understand stuff happens. Sometimes you could be married and now you divorce and now you are a single mom. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying we got to realize boys need men. Boys need a masculine figure, that's going to teach them that side. Because if not, they will just have they'll have all the women's, the way women act, the way people they talk, the mannerisms of women. And we don't want that. So it's definitely important to keep, our children, if you are a single mom with a father figure, they need a father figure because I mean, it's just the way God created it. They need both parents, mom and dad. And so I think that's a big reason as to why a lot of this is going on. The men are being raised only by single women, and single women are emotional. Single women, of course, not even just saying single women, just women, period. We're emotional. This is the way God created us, right? That's how we are. And so but I'm just saying, if you're a single woman raising a boy, then of course that's all they're going to get is that emotional side. So now we see why they're emotionally unstable at this point, because they didn't have anything to help them become stable as a man. And so I think all of this plays a part into why, the women are losing their lives at the hand of their spouses, their partners, their, lovers or whoever. I believe that's why they're losing their lives in this manner, because nobody has been taught to be emotionally intelligent. And then, a lot of the men are emotionally charged because they didn't have the masculinity that's needed to be a man. And so it's really heartbreaking that we're seeing this going on in the society. Val on Instagram, she back on Instagram now. She said, yes, they do. Hi, Cabbage. Hello, everybody on Instagram who has joined. Let's see here. Janae said, what's scary is that the statistics from 2023 are already at an alarming rate. So I can't imagine 2025 statistics, especially with all the current economic impacts we are having, which could lead to more emotional stressors. Exactly. That's a great point. Great point. Because like you said, the article, Ashley Elkins, wasn't that this year? I think that was that, or it was late December. We've already had other articles that came out for this year already. And like she said, what is a great point that you pointed out, Mina, was that you can only imagine what how much more is going to be for 2025, because you got to understand, as the economy shifts, as things are happening, right? People get stressed out. Men are losing their jobs. They can't maybe provide like they want to, or and so they are being stressed as well, and they're being pulled on, and sometimes they can take it out on their woman, or their wife, because she's just there and it's not right. But again, these are things we're talking about that is probably most likely pushing this femicide. That was a very, very good point. Jabbar said, we as men have to do better. And I don't mean all men. Amen. I agree. And like you said, not all men, but the men who are doing this. We see it's a lot of men doing this, right? But yeah, everybody has to do better, including men. We can't leave anybody out. Like I said, Africa is the top. And I do believe that's because the way the society is ran, as far as, the men, being worship and praise. And I understand it's a certain respect and submission, but like we can't be praising and worshiping a man. Like we can't be doing all that, and because you're looked at like you're nothing but a maid, and you need, your life doesn't matter. Even the young girls, they're over there killing young school age girls. And then I seen a video where they said, oh, they wanted it. Young girls, young girls. It's really sad. Let me I'm gonna play the last video, y'all. Let's see. I'm trying to see if any more comments on here. Okay, no more comments. Okay, so I'm gonna play this last video. Y'all please share this live so we can I guess we can I want more people to understand how big this is. And I don't think enough people are understanding that or getting it, because most people don't see it. We have become numb to the news, and I try not to be numb. But it's hard sometimes when all you see is killing, murder, killing this, stab, this, it's really hard, right? And so a lot of times we watch the news and we're numb to what is going on in the society and the world, because it's like, okay, it's normal. Somebody else got stabbed. Okay, well, somebody else got shot. It happens. And we shouldn't be like that, but because of the world we lived in, it has turned us cold. And so that's why I want to shed light on different things that's going on, because this is going to affect somebody's daughter. This is going to affect what I'm saying, somebody's mom, maybe auntie. This affects somebody. We have women in every family, and if you are a woman, you can definitely be affected. It said one woman killed every 10 minutes. You know how high that statistic is? That's a lot. Every 10 minutes. I don't think we hear that every 10 minutes. Like, we got to do something about this. I mean, like, seriously. But yeah, please share the live, guys. Would love to have more people to view this live. But I'm gonna play this last video. Now, the last video is a video of one of my favorite people. Not people, I don't really know this person, but she has her own not her has her own. She's a prophetess. Let me say she's a woman. But I was watching her the other day. I post her all the time. Y'all be seeing her down my timeline and stuff. Y'all don't be saying nothing. But no, she's an end times prophet, right? And so she was doing, she was just talking about 2025 and the prophecy God gave her for 2025 and things like this, right? And she touched on femicide, which I thought was so like ironic because I'm like, dang, all these killings. And when she touched on it, she gave some such great nuggets that I'm like, oh, we got to cover this topic. And so I want y'all to hear what she had to say about it. It's very, very good. Directed to women, of course. She's trying to give you some nuggets to use, in this life. So I want y'all to hear it. I'm going to play it now for you guys. And then we'll be leaving after that. So just give me 1 second to bring it up. Okay. All right, let's see. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure it's on the screen. Okay.
It is not mandatory that you have a boyfriend. Please do not take offense. Because this that I see developing, not even developing, it's already full force. This that is in South Africa, this is from the underworld. This is not an ordinary thing. That when they take pictures of the rape survivors' clothing, then the crotch has been torn. Who has the strength to tear jeans? Just a moment, please. The femicide that is in South Africa is not natural. Killing women, killing men, it's not natural. But this is now an act being fueled direct from hell. It's as if a vent, a very large one, South Africans. It's not a small thing. You cannot misdiagnose what is happening in your midst. You cannot just say, oh yes, Sister Celestial is really bad. I don't think, in fact, I'm certain that the majority of you don't actually realize what you're facing. You realize enough to know that it's scary. You realize enough to know that it's a problem. But there's one thing that always prevents women, especially, from getting out of harm's way.
It's good, y'all. Listen.
I'm not a man, so I'm not going to presume upon their mindset. It's true for people in general, but it's very true for women. There's something inside women that is able to perceive distant harm that's far away. Oh, that place is very dangerous. They say that women get raped there. I won't go there. There's something in women that is able to perceive intermediate harm. You won't believe it. My sister's boyfriend murdered her. But when it comes to immediate harm, total wipeout, zero vision. There's something inside the female that never believes that the male next to her is capable of slitting her throat and then going live and advertising her dead body. I can't even disrespect the females who can perceive. I can't disrespect them by saying, oh, because a woman will just sit there. No. There's something about the female linked in part to the nurturing nature, the nurturing role that we are naturally given by God. To nurture, to protect. In order to nurture and protect, you automatically have this covering function. This covering function, it's like our eyelid that comes down all the time, especially when there's risk of harm. The eyelid comes down to cover, and that is women. There was a TikTok blowing up of a Black lady who stopped and basically jumped in the road and was driving erratically and did everything to flag people down because she had a 28-year-old man baby in the car with her. He had grabbed his mother's phone and thrown it out into the bushes while they were driving back from family time or driving to family time to another state. I think he was trying to also take control of the vehicle. And so the mother parked and then was flagging people down to show that she was in danger. Other people stopped. It's a very interesting TikTok. I was so tempted to put it on my video, but this is the main channel. It's not just for everything. And so I will re-upload it on some of my socials so that people, women, can see themselves. This man, for at 28 you are a man, had no business still living in his mother's house. He wasn't working hard enough, achieving hard enough, or building anything enough that he was out of his mother's house. He was still living at his mother's house, but the attitude with which he was living in his mother's house, the potential violence, that woman will resurface again in life. She will resurface again in life. And this time she won't be a TikTok. This time she will probably be a news clip. Because I was looking at, and I said, this is what I preach all the time. The intermediate stage of danger with a father, a brother, a significant other, a husband, that is the last stage at which a woman is able to perceive danger. Most women, they can perceive it when it's far away. Oh, that province in wherever is very dangerous. They're killing women there. Oh, they're killing women in Manhattan, or they're killing women in Mumbai. You see that distance far away place? Your eyes are working fine. And then the intermediate level. Oh, my best friend's husband murdered her. You can cry. You can go to the funeral. You can wear the hat. You can perceive the danger. But the cobra in the bed with you, the cobra that you're keeping under your breastbone and covering like a shutting eye, you can't see that one.
Yeah.
People stopped to help the woman. An elderly man came and was inquiring, "Are you okay?" Her disrespectful, untrained son disrespected that old man so much. A state trooper was there. He was trying to intervene. He kept telling the guy, I say, shut up, buddy, shut up. He wouldn't. He was as sassy as a female when she is in an argument. That's the kind of man that we're having produced en masse today. Low achiever, high attitude. Why do you have a high attitude when you're a low achiever? It doesn't make sense. She tells the trooper everything that is wrong. She tells the trooper that she actually does fear, and you can see that she's visibly upset. Then the trooper proposes that he's going to take the boy away. The eye shuts. Instant covering of that useless man at nearly age 30. I just want to go home. I just want to go home, okay? This is not necessary. Take me home. The trooper's like, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. And then she's like, no, it's okay, officer. I was like, there it is. There it is. There's the eye. The next time you see her, her face will be broken in because that boy is ripe for something. I told you that demons are always walking around. We're like homes. You keep the doors open, you keep the garage doors up, you keep the front doors up, something will jump in. Something will jump in. The trooper, a man perceiving danger, perceiving the aggressiveness in her son, says, I'm taking him away. He didn't even say, I'm arresting him. When the trooper said he wanted to arrest him, oh no, officer, officer, officer. Then the trooper said, I'm getting you out of the car. And then he's like, how am I going to get home? He said, you're a man. You'll find your own way home. Oh no, officer, officer. And I was like, there it is. There's the eye. There it is. The danger that's hanging your sisters, the danger that's raping your sisters in South Africa. Are you perceiving it? Do you know that the next news report is you and the man that your eye can't see? And the thing is, it's too late to know that it's you when you're dead. When you're dead, you become, please listen, you become the intermediate danger for all the women who know you. Just the way when your friend was killed, she became the middle danger. She was no longer the far danger in KwaZulu-Natal. When your friend died, when your friend was raped and then murdered, she became the middle danger. And you looked at her and you said, oh, it's very dangerous for women. But you didn't know that the man next to you was thinking, it is, isn't it? When you die, you will become the middle danger for all the women who know you. And they will be blind to the men next to them until they die and become the middle danger. These are the things that are going on in this world. And then when God says, the number of the church will be cut down. Church woman, why are you with a man that you're not married to? What's happening? What are you doing living in the same house with him? He's not your husband. What's going on? Is rent that high?
Wow, she said a lot. Oh, I hope y'all got that. I normally don't play clips that long, but it was so much good information that I had to. Like I had to. She said so much stuff in there that even I had to say, "Oh, ouch," because I'm like that as a woman. What she said was true. As women, we do that. Like even I know I got sons, so I do that. Like if they in trouble and then, the father saying like, okay, he needed, you even if the dad is telling them right, you're like, oh no, but that's my baby. You do I don't know what it is. Like she said, it's just some type of innate thing we have. Man, that story was good though. Like it's not even a story, it's a true event that happened. How the mother just changed up when he said, "Okay, get out the car." It's just something about that. Y'all, what is it? Y'all, what is it? I don't know. Y'all talk to me. Tell me. I don't know. I'm checking Instagram. What do y'all think, Jabbar? Janae, what y'all think? Tonya, I don't know who else. Y'all know it don't let me see. But what y'all think about that? I know y'all got something to say. That was some true nuggets, like some true wisdom. I'm waiting for a few minutes. No, nobody think anything. Wow. Okay. Well, the takeaways from this podcast is that, I guess women like treat even I guess the people you're with, your family members, even like she said, the person who's in the bed with you, your spouse. Treat even them as they could be a person who could potentially, end your life. It's you have to just think that way. And I know you don't want to, but you have to always have it, especially if there's, a lot of disagreements, arguments, or disrespect, treat it like, this could very well end me, and so you don't take it lightly. Like she said, because you saw the danger down the street or you saw your friend, it happened to your friend. Don't take it lightly. Understand that this stuff is happening every day and you don't want it to be you. You don't want to be the next statistics on the news, that we're reading about now or that we're watching on the news because again, it's happening and it's happening fast, So Jabbar said it's a six sense. 6 cents. Really, what you mean? Having the awareness that this could happen to you is like should be a 6 cents. I guess it's just not for women then. He said it's a feeling that can't be explained. Okay, so what you talking about exactly? Meaning, when there's like danger or something, or are you talking about when I was talking about how women be sometimes? I don't know. Let's see. Y'all be taking so long, or maybe it might be delayed. By the time I come back, I'll be on something else. Janae said, she let the fear of losing or endangering her child be the control. Yeah, she did. Yeah, and that's because she got in her feelings and emotions. But of course, that's how we set up, right? We set up like that to get in our feelings. God made us like that because we're nurturers. And then, of course, the man is supposed to be opposite. He's supposed to be masculine and, but a lot of times the man isn't like that. And so now the woman who's emotional, see how she got his feelings when the trooper came and said, get out the car. Now she like, no, you don't have to go, instead of allowing him to get out the car and him to teach him a lesson because that's probably like the only male interactions he's probably going to have. Like, honestly, he needed that. He was 28 years old. So, I mean, honestly, we have to do better. Oh, okay, Jabbar, you said when danger is near. Right. So, okay. So that it is maybe it's a sixth sense for like for men, and then even like for women, like she said, when it's far out. When you see something, something going on, you telling your friend, "Oh, don't go over here. I heard it's a lot of stuff going on this side of town," right? Or even like she said, in the middle when somebody close to you that it happened to, but it doesn't become a sixth sense when it's you. And that's really for women. That's kind of how it works. I don't know why it works like that. And I think maybe it works like that because the woman is supposed to be covered by the man. And because he's supposed to have that type of sixth sense that you're talking about, she wouldn't necessarily need it and that close, right? If she did have if it was in the proper order. And so I think that's why. But if you have the man who doesn't have that, and he's emotional, he's you know not intelligent, of course, emotionally intelligent. So now it's going to be a mess. And this is why we're getting why this stuff is happening. But wow, this is a good topic, y'all. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed looking into it, because I want to make people aware that this, especially ladies and women, that this is going on, right? These men, and I'm not bashing any men or anything. I'm just saying that they don't care about women at this point. A lot of them have other options, which sometimes even women aren't even the first preference, right? And so we got to realize that because a lot of those people, I seen the story where the DL woman or DL man killed his wife because she went and exposed him. Now, I ain't saying she was all the way right for exposing him, right? But I am saying that you don't know how you would feel when you find something out like that, and you don't want anybody else to go through it. So, but we got to understand that, a lot of times it's happening because, the men just are not the same as before. They don't view you as a prize, as God says that if you find a wife, you find a good thing and obtain favor, meaning you are a prize. They don't view you like that. They view you as whatever. Women ain't nothing and this. And it's all this misogynistic, spirit and stuff going around where they don't value women. Right. And because of that, it's a very dangerous place now because nobody values women. Nobody values you know, eat, women don't value men either. I can say that. But this topic right now, we're talking about the women. And because of that, I think that's why a lot of women are losing their lives because if you don't value something, it's easy for you to take their life. It's easy for you to dog it out. It's easy for you to not take care of it because you don't value it, right? You just see women as I just need one thing. And if I don't get that, I can get it from somebody else or someone else or, everybody sleeping with everybody, everything. So, hey, Ashley, you're off work. But yeah, I just feel like women, ladies, be careful. Try to stay aware of the people you're around. You know, this dating scene, I hear it all the time that it's really crazy. So, make sure you know the person who you're with, and try to get a godly man, like a true, real godly man, like not nobody who just go to church and be like, "Oh, I love the Lord." No, no, because I see a lot of stories of that happening too, where it be somebody who was a pastor or somebody, or somebody in the church that's doing things to women, that's harming women. Because again, if they're not rooted and grounded in God, if they really don't have a root in God, they're not going to do right. They can't do right. They can't even love you the way you need to be loved because they don't have the love of Christ. It's just simple as that. So a lot of times you just gotta, just walk away from it, leave it alone. Especially if you're not committed to it, walk away from it because it's not worth it. If that person, I don't care, male or female, man, woman, whoever, if they don't have the love of Christ in them, they cannot love you correctly. They can't because they won't know how to love you correctly. How will they know? You don't know what love is. You think love is just this feeling of, oh, you make me feel good. So then when you don't make me feel good, now I don't love you, right? That is not what love is. And if you don't, understand your word, you don't understand God, you don't have a personal relationship with him, you'll never understand what love is. You'll never treat that woman the way she needs to be. You'll never treat the man the way he needs to be treated, you know? And so it's just an unfortunate fact. But yeah, Tonya said it's just so sad in the new norm. It is very sad. Very sad new norm, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's a very sad new norm, and I don't know. Y'all, only thing I could say is, like, again, we're going to the end. We're entering into the end times, and in the end times, it means everything that the Bible predicted is going to happen. The love of men is going to wax cold, meaning there's going to be unnatural affection, right? People are not going to love each other no more. This is what it means when it says the love is going to wax cold. Their hearts is going to be cold. I mean, you can do anything. You can sleep in the bed with this person and then take them out the next day. That is where the hearts have waxed cold hearted, pretty much. So you got to be really, really careful. You don't even just have to watch out for the people, robbing people or breaking in. Now it's the people that's right close to you, because that's the one who's actually killing killing the women at this point. So yeah, I mean, it said Revelations is baby. Revelations is it's real, and we're seeing it more and more. The more the world is going on, we're seeing it. Famine, talking about the different colors of the horse, the red horse, the white horse. All these horses had different things. Pestilence on the earth, all kinds of things would happen. God said, as these scrolls and things are being opened up, and so we have to expect more of this stuff to happen, and understand that there's wickedness, in high places that's operating. And like Celestial said, like, you got to understand that when you are a person, we're people, and the enemy, and the spirits, they need a vehicle. They can't do anything by themselves, because they're spirits. They don't have a body to work in this realm, in earth right now. You need to have a body, right? And so because of that, they're looking for openings. They're looking for somebody who's out here, sleeping with this person, that person, and doing this, right? Because they can enter in, and now, they can take over you. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of these men. They have these openings, spiritually up. And so when they are with their spouse, or, the girlfriend or whatever, and something happens, that evil spirits enters in, and they snap. Because if you look at some of these men, their stories, a lot of times they be like, I don't know what happened. They really be like, they don't know what happened. They just snapped. And so I believe it's definitely spiritual. All things are spiritual, for one. We know that. But yeah. Um Jabbar said the question is, how do we change this? Well, I mean, that, for one, right? For one, it's definitely picking the right partner, because again, this is happening by spouses, this is happening by intimate partners. Definitely picking the right person that you need to be with, and they need to be rooted and grounded in the word of God, for one. Because if you got somebody who's in rooted in Christ, they're just not going to do certain things, right? They're just not, because God is the Holy Spirit will help them and restrain them to not do certain things, and they'll know how to treat you. You'll know how to treat them. So that's for one, is to make sure you have a man or woman with on a solid ground, that loves the Lord and knows God for himself. You know, that's for one. Also, like, don't, stop sleeping around. Like she said, stop sleeping around. Stop living with people who aren't your men, not your husband. You gotta abide by the word of God. You can't expect to live outside the word of God, and then God still be blessing you and protecting you. And this, now he has done that. God does that, and he's been doing that for years. He's been giving us, because that's called grace. You live in any kind of way, but God is still protecting you, right? He's still covering you. That's called grace and mercy. However, we got to understand the time for grace and mercy is ending. It's ending. And this is why now you're seeing an increase of wickedness, an increase of people murdering people, like weird stuff. Like, I saw a doggone, I think she was like 12-year-old, just killed her little sister because the little sister kept going in the bathroom or something, and stabbed the girl so many times. It was unbelievable. Like, it's no way we thought that was a normal girl doing that. A normal 11, 12-year-old or child, you thought is going, and then she was like calm when they asked her why she do it. Calm. The baby was dead with stab wounds everywhere. So we got to really understand right now is not the time to play with our lives. If we played any other time, let's get we need to be getting our life correct with Christ, because right now is not the time, because time is running out and it's coming short. You can see how wicked it's getting, and it's going to get darker and darker and darker and darker until the God lowercase g of this world comes back, which is Satan, because he needs it to be dark for him to come. He hates the light. And so he has to put all the light out, or majority of it, in order for him to come back. So keep that in mind as well. But if you use wisdom, choose wisely, ask God, is this the person I need to be with? Again, make sure they have the check marks, the characteristics of God. They love the Lord for real, not just going to church. People go to church. Satan go to church. Don't get nobody who just go to church. The devil go to church. Okay. So that don't even matter. It matters that they love the Lord. And the way you're going to know that they love the Lord is their fruits. The fruit is the way they act. The fruit is the way they behave, right? The way they treat people, the way they talk to you, right? Are they disrespectful when they talk to people? So the fruit is actually going to be your behavior. It's not going to be, oh, well, they're pretty nice. They were sweet to me. Okay. Anybody can be sweet. That's just being fake. And again, you don't see that part of a person in the first 6 months anyway. Jabbar said, how about the young girl who killed her cousin over the iPhone? Yeah, that too. That's one too. See, I can't remember them. I can't remember them all. It's so many instances where people have gotten killed over something dumb. And I think they were what, 12 or 13 cousins? I remember that. What do we think? Like, listen, go back to your mindset when you were 12 and 13. Do you even imagine? I couldn't even imagine doing something like that at that age. Like, I can't imagine doing it now, but let alone over a phone. So if you look at that, you can definitely tell the time has progressed. We're no longer in the same realm that we were before. And tried to cover it up. Exactly. How did she know how to she came up with some good alibi, probably trying to cover up what she did, what she had done. Come on now. We know that. Wow. How is a 12, 13-year-old girl doing this type of stuff? And then going to try to cover it up. We know it's spiritual wickedness. We're in the end times. A lot of darkness is roaming around. So you got to understand, stay prayed up. Keep the shield of faith, right? Put on the whole armor of God. Every day we need that. And so when we recognize that we need God, like, that's the only thing I can say is how we change it. First and foremost is that we need the Holy Spirit. We need Christ to be the center of our life. We need to be in his word, because that's how we know how to live and how to conduct ourselves. Because a lot of the situations we get ourselves in, we shouldn't have been in those situations anyway, but we were in it because we were disobedient or living in our own flesh. God didn't tell us to do none of the things we're doing, but we go do it because, we want to, because it's our flesh, because the Bible says the flesh, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So our flesh is weak. And if you don't kill your flesh, if you don't say, no, I'm not doing that to your flesh, you're going to do it, because your flesh will talk to you. When you get hungry, it'll talk to you. You're trying to fast and you like, oh, dang, that burger looks so good. Your flesh should start talking to you. Just get one bite. You just eat a little bit, and that's how it is with anything. Any type of sin is how your flesh, roars up. It wants what it wants, but you have to kill it. You can't feed the flesh. So that's all I got, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for coming in. Please share the live. Let somebody know, tell somebody about this podcast. We are, again, trying to just make everybody aware of things that's going on, the social epidemics that are actually popping up and, taking our society out, really. And we knew this would happen. God predicted it. He said it in the word that it would come to pass, and it's coming to pass. And we just got to brace ourselves and get prepared. And most importantly is to get our life right with Christ, because everybody has to leave one day. And that's the most important thing, is to make sure you're right and you're in his will. So that's all I have today, guys, for you guys. Again, I really appreciate you guys for coming in and having some dialogue. And it's been really real. It's been good. And I appreciate y'all. So until next time, y'all know that I love y'all. And I will see y'all later. All right. Bye.